So, Dr. Dhruv, while you're raising these concerns, I don't really have much to counter to what you are saying. These are questions that would have to be answered by the NTA for that matter, because this is a perception issue as well. Many people are raising these questions. But one question that I would want to ask you is, how would you look at what the Supreme Court has ordered in terms of no re-NEET? Because the Supreme Court very clearly saying that even though there has been paper leaks, it affects very few people when you compare it to the larger good of, say, those of 23 lakh students and their careers that are at stake. So they're trying to see which way can this go, how could this be balanced if you're looking at a few hundreds vis-a-vis the lakhs of careers that are at stake. They're saying there's a greater good in not having a re-NEET because mass scale or large scale sanctity doesn't seem to be compromised. Do you buy this judgment? Do you concur with this argument?
Well, actually, Supreme Court is the more, we cannot reject the fact that the Supreme Court is unbiased. It is not biased toward anything. But we also have to understand why Supreme Court would have given this decision. Supreme Court could have given this decision because a lot of petitions came from the students' bodies as well, that the exam should not be, cancelled. And it should not be cancelled because it has been more than 2 months.
True.
And preparing for that exam would be difficult approach.
Right.
So I definitely understand the view of Supreme Court, and I respect that. But, the concerns that the students have, a large mass of students have, as well as their families have, they have lost the trust on NTA. They have lost the trust on the examination body. And this is what actually can never be regained. And this is something that is always going to be suspicious. Not this year, but next year to next year, every year.
No. Dr. Dhruv Chauhan, do you realize, you're the IMA National Committee member. You're speaking from a post of influence and authority. You're saying that the trust has been compromised to a position that it can never be regained. These are very, very strong words to be used, because there are also, NTA has been on the dock as well. The Supreme Court has not been light on the NTA as well. There have been mass protests against the NTA. The Supreme Court has made some very scathing observations against the NTA as well. So it's not like NTA has had a very straight cakewalk in this case. But are you still maintaining what you're saying, that the trust cannot be regained?
Well, from the perspective, I'm speaking from the perspective of those students who will not be, getting the seat due to the, very high inflation of the mass. I'm speaking on behalf of them. I'm not saying for everybody, but for them at least it would be very difficult to regain the trust.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Dr. Dhruv.